Welcome. My name is Asanda, and this is the Asimac channel where we defy all society's norms by keeping it real. So guys, welcome to the 9th episode of Discussions That Grow the Mind. Today's topic is we are too grown to be trying to smell how people are feeling. We are too grown to be trying to decipher, oh, I made you angry, oh, this is what I must do now. Oh, as grown adults and as mature people, we must be able to communicate our emotions so that people know how to navigate, a conversation with us and understand the actions that hurt us. And it must be an easy thing. It mustn't be a guessing game that, okay, I hurt you when I said this, so now I must know and smell it. I must be able to tell from your passive aggression that you're not okay. That's not a way to live, and that's not a way to navigate life. It's very stressful. It doesn't help anyone. You are hurt, the other person is confused, and no progression is made. So the foundation to being able to communicate your feelings has to start with your emotional intelligence, and you need to be able to understand and interpret the way things affect you and your own emotions before being able to communicate them to someone else, right? So in this video, we'll just be looking at some frameworks that I have for myself and ones that I've researched on YouTube and from reading articles, the best way for you to understand yourself emotionally and to develop your emotional intelligence. Without further ado, let us get into the video. The first step, right, is to ask yourself if you're emotionally mature. But what does that mean? So I researched a few questions just to get us into the framework of what it means to be emotionally intelligent, right? The first question is, are you able to pinpoint the emotions that you're feeling at any point and understand the root cause of that emotion? So if I'm triggered by something right now in this moment, am I able to objectively perceive my emotion and understand what caused it, what it's rooted from, and how that emotion came to be? Or are you just taken over by emotions and you don't ever actually process where it comes from and where it's rooted from? That's one question to ask yourself. Second question is, do you actually understand what processing an emotion means? Processing emotions is different for everyone. You can process emotions through activity. Some people go to gym, some people journal, and some people, there's different ways for you to navigate your emotions and to actually process the things that are happening to you. So you just need to figure out the way that works best for you. And then, do you reflect and discuss with yourself how things actually affect you? This one I think is the most vital one, because if you don't ever sit down and actually discuss things in your head, you don't have to say it out loud. Some people actually sit in the mirror. I know people that sit in the mirror and talk and say, I don't like what she did today. Why didn't I like what she did today? This is how it made me feel. Why did it make you feel like that? Because it reminds me of when someone used to do this. You actually sit and you have discourse with yourself to actually process what just happened to you. Because if you just sit with things and you don't ever process them, they stay. Like, it doesn't leave your body. I'll show you guys a video as well. Those things stay with you. Can you clearly and logically articulate the things that happen to you, or the way someone makes you feel, or what they did to you without you actually getting emotional while speaking about it? Like, can you, after having discourse with yourself and discussing how something makes you feel, can you now confront that person and tell them what happened to you without you having an emotional reaction? Like, if you can take yourself out of the situation and address the thing that hurt you at hand and make them understand without lashing out or just being able to effectively communicate, that also just shows you that you have your emotional intelligence in check. Now I'm going to give you guys a perspective that I have on emotions, and I think a lot of people should adopt more. I view emotions very logically. Like, I know that sounds weird. My thing is, like, I view emotions as an equation. Like, emotions can be solved. If I am triggered by something right now in this moment, there's a reason for that trigger, right? If I get triggered by something and I have a reaction, that tells me that there's a problem. Now I need to go back and process and think about, why is it that when this specific thing happens, I have a reaction? There's a very interesting perspective that I got from Leo Skepi. I'll play his video for you guys. But he speaks of the fact that life is like a game, right? If you keep being put in the same situation over and over again, it's because you're supposed to learn something from it, right? Now you're supposed to take yourself out of the equation, right? Look at the situation that you're in that triggered your emotion, and then think about, why am I here? Like, what's the purpose here? What am I supposed to learn from being in this situation? Why am I triggered by this situation? And then you start to unpack and delve into why exactly this situation and this emotion comes up at this specific point. And you track back and you try to figure it out. I'll just play his video for you guys so you can hear his perspective.
But from any understanding you have of the universe, God, your soul, we all come from the same consciousness and energy. We're all a part of it. So you are a piece of God. You're a piece of the universe. I use God, like I said, to humanize it a little bit because it's all going to make sense in a second. But if you're a piece of it, everything that's happening, God is doing to himself. The universe is doing to itself. When you take on this perspective, you're going to see the people in your life as vessels. Why did God come to you and visit itself the way that it did? What was it trying to teach you? What was it trying to teach itself? Tapping into this perspective literally changed so much for me. But just understanding the person is a vessel for you being visited by God or the universe to become aware of things. What was it trying to teach you? Why would God visit you through that vessel? No matter what it is, just taking on that perspective will give you a whole new life form of understanding of things you never even thought of. And you're going to see things a lot different. And if you got abused and hurt, why did God do that to himself? Why did the universe do that to itself? Why did it visit itself through that?
So you end up not being so caught up in the moment. Instead, you look at your life more as like from an outside perspective, and you try to figure out what you're supposed to figure out in the situation, so that you don't stay in those, like, because I feel like if you don't take yourself out of the situation and try to analyze what you're supposed to learn, you just fall into a hole of like deep, depressing, sad emotion, and you don't ever find a way out of it because your perspective is, I don't know how to describe it, but I think, we can all relate. That's my perspective. I view emotions as a puzzle that need to be solved. If I am triggered by something and it takes a reaction out of me, I know that I've hit the gold mine, because there's something to figure out, and there's something to track back, and there's something to navigate. So one thing about emotion is that they demand to be felt. Emotions will not disappear. If you are triggered by something right now, or if you have a traumatizing experience and you don't process it, actually understand what's going on with you and what's happening to you, if you just suppress all those things and you don't actually process it, emotion stays, and it sometimes stays to the point where it gets manifested in the form of chronic illnesses. And sometimes it manifests as like depression, anxiety, all these things. It's just your body trying to trigger you and to tell you that, hey, there's an issue there's an emotion that we haven't processed and it needs to be processed. So you're going to get back pain. And that's supposed to signal to you that, okay, I'm supposed to figure something out. Or you might get panic attacks. A panic attack is telling you that, hey, there's an emotion that we haven't processed. There's an emotion that we haven't dealt with. There's something that we haven't confronted. Therefore, you're going to keep getting panic attacks if you're put into the situation, so that you can finally go into yourself and delve into the reason why, you feel certain things at certain times, why you react certain ways. Emotions demand to be felt, and for as long as you don't ever feel the emotion, you gonna have problems. You're gonna have issues physically, emotionally, and mentally. I'll now play a video that just explains this concept so you can also understand from, their perspective.
Our vast and strange minds get filled with thoughts that go unsifted, and with feelings we don't have the courage to look at. We might be angry or sad while lacking any active awareness that we are so, or guilty or envious without any grasp of what's at play behind a thin psychological curtain. There's a part of us that wants the truth, however bitter it might be. A minor part, but a notoriously insistent and ingenious part that won't leave us in peace until its case has been heard. It will, in order to stir us from our reverie, give us all manner of problems, breakdowns, illnesses. When our conscience has done everything it can to alert our minds, it has a tendency to set to work on our bodies. More specifically, it forces us to feel, in the form of a symptom, what we haven't felt outright as an idea or insight. Lack of awareness returns to haunt us as physical ailments. If our intellect won't look at our anger, the feeling may be sent to dwell in our lower back. If our anxiety isn't being dealt with psychologically, it may be relegated to our gut. Romantic frustration that is denied may literally begin to wreck our hearts. However well-meaning they might be, doctors seldom know to ask the right questions. They picture themselves fixing material problems caused by material malfunctions. Not that it might be an ex-partner who has broken our kidney, or a stifled rage against our father that's freezing up our vertebrae. We need to do the work ourselves. It could be surprisingly clear, once we ask the question, that our shoulders are desperate for the relationship to end, that our stomachs want us to take on less responsibility, that our hearts want a chance to say sorry, that our ribcage has had enough of pretending it's happy, and that our lungs need an opportunity to scream. Many of our bodily ailments are ultimately mute forms of revenge for all the thoughts and feelings we have so carefully been refusing to entertain.
So I have this framework that I use for myself in my daily life, and it sounds like this. If I'm in a situation, right, I have the emotion. Let's say I'm in conflict and the emotion that manifests is anger. Let's say I'm in a situation where I'm just going to use a relationship one. I figure you get to experience yourself and things that affect you a lot more deeply because it's right in front of your face. Let's say I'm with a boy and this boy is laughing with this girl that I don't like. And I told him not to laugh with that girl that I don't like. But he's not doing anything, they're just laughing, right? I get angry, rightfully, right? I'm angry. The anger is just the surface of everything. So now I sit with myself and I say, I'm angry, right? But now I need to understand that my anger is rooted in something else. I figured I don't like this girl. And the reason I don't like this girl is because she makes me insecure. What does she make me insecure about? Maybe she's funny and like she gets attention from people. I don't know. So I'm insecure. So I'm angry, but the feeling is my surface level emotion of anger is rooted in something deeper, which is insecurity. I don't like him talking to her because it makes me insecure. But now, why am I insecure? Okay, maybe it's from your childhood. Maybe you always felt like you had to fight for attention, or maybe you have daddy issues and you always felt like you needed to fight for your father's attention or something like that. Like, you delve deep into why you have that emotion manifest as anger. Once you understand where it's rooted from, you can better understand how to communicate that emotion to your partner instead of just getting angry and lashing out. Every emotion has a way that it manifests. If I'm insecure, it'll manifest maybe in a specific situation as anger, right? But the anger is not the real emotion that I'm feeling. Anger is just how it manifests. Now, for me to navigate through life, this trauma, this daddy issue that I have will consistently be tested in my life. I'll come across situations where I will keep facing the same problem of insecurity. Maybe this time it was my boyfriend talking to the girl that I don't like. Maybe next time it's me feeling like I am in competition with everyone around and I have to badmouth others just so I feel good about myself. You will consistently be tested in your life, and for as long as you don't deal with the root cause, the real trauma, your emotions will manifest in different ways. I hope you guys understand me, because this is like this is a framework that I've developed for myself, and it's what I use to navigate in my everyday life. Like, if I feel angered by someone and they get me furious, I know that there's an issue there, because why is anything making me angry? Now I can say, I didn't like when you did that because it made me insecure, and the reason I'm insecure is because I have an experience of 1, 2, 3. And there, people then understand the full depth of why you feel the way you feel and the emotions that you get, and how they should go about navigating it the next time that they find themselves in that position, so that now it's not a guessing game of, okay, Asanda's angry, but I don't know why she's angry. I'm gonna also play another video that just delves into trauma and how that manifests for different people, and how it goes when you don't process that trauma that you go through.
The nature of trauma is that an experience enters into your ears, into your skin, into your eyes, and it goes down into a very primitive part of your brain that automatically interprets what is going on. Is this dangerous or is this safe? An event becomes traumatic when there is nothing you can do to stave off the inevitable, and your body starts automatically going to a state of fight, flight, or collapse. The lingering effect of trauma is that you continue to react to mild stressors as if your life is in danger. And so you tend to become hyper-reactive. Somebody may irritate you in the supermarket. You may develop road rage. You may have a difficult time putting up with misbehavior from your spouse or your kids. And most people actually are barely aware or not aware at all that their reactions that they're having right now are actually rooted in experiences they have had before. That event itself is over, but you continue to react to things as if you're in danger. So the big challenge of treating trauma is, how do we help people to live in bodies that feel fundamentally safe?
Just to summarize everything that I've spoken about in this video, if you view your emotions as something that can be solved, it makes just processing your emotions a lot easier. You know that if you're triggered by something, there's steps in which you can follow to actually get to the bottom of why you feel what you feel. Step 1 is that you need to understand that when you speak about something and you get emotional, you have hit a gold mine, you've hit a trigger, you've hit the thing that you can delve deeper into. If you speak about it in this current moment and it makes you emotional, that's how you know you have something to delve deeper into and you have something to heal. Just know that when you find that thing, guys, you're winning. Like, you found the gold mine. Now you go down the loop of asking why. You go down the why loop. Why? Figure it out. And then when you get to the bottom truth, of why you feel that way and why your emotions manifest the way they do, then you can confront the emotion. Whether for you that means confronting the person, whether for you that means that you're going to confront the fact that you don't like that girl speaking to your boyfriend because you feel like he doesn't love you, because why you don't love yourself, then you can confront the fact that you don't love yourself and try find ways to figure that out and to sort your way through it and find ways to love yourself, you know. So confrontation manifests in different ways. You can either confront the person or confront that very emotion within yourself.
It's only in the past few years that people are beginning to talk about the impact of poverty, or the impact of racism, or the impact of unemployment. And people have sort of been labeling people, oh, there's something wrong with you, let me fix you. But if you go to a physician or a mental health practitioner who doesn't understand that, they're going to try to fix you with drugs or cognitive behavioral treatment to not do these crazy things anymore. It usually doesn't work very well. What was very clear is that being in a relationship where people can hear you, where you can talk about how badly you feel, where you can talk about your guilt, and where you can start opening up where these feelings come from, how old these feelings are, and how you develop these feelings in response to particular things that happen to you, that was actually quite helpful. Because you need to really develop a deep sense of, this is what happened to me. This is what I'm dealing with. And I need to take care of the wounds that I'm carrying inside of myself. Knowing that your reactions are understandable and are rooted in you getting stuck in the past is a terribly important part of beginning to recover from trauma. Most of us are survivors of one thing or another, some much worse than others.
So yeah, I hope this video helps. You know, I missed making videos like this because that was the style of my YouTube videos back in the day. If you are an OG, you would know. But you know, I'm also evolving as a person, and I want to discuss things outside of, you know. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe. Yeah, man, I really enjoy making these videos for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy them too. Please do share, and yeah, see you guys next time.